Let's take a moment to examine what some in Hollywood are bizarrely spinning as a milestone. Snow White crossing the $200 million mark globally. Sounds impressive. Not even close. This so-called box office achievement is a financial crater dressed up in a party hat. Like,
People are like, oh wow, Snow White flopped. Who is surprised? You cast arguably the least genuine, most out of touch, and disliked person in her industry, and her industry is Hollywood. And the bad guy is Gal Gadot.
the production budget ballooned to at least $260 million, with insider whispers suggesting it climbed past $300 million after extensive reshoots. Then tack on marketing, likely another $100 million, and you've got yourself one of the most expensive flops in modern Disney history. After theaters take their cut, Disney is staring down the barrel of a roughly $200 million loss. Not a setback, not a stumble, a catastrophe. And sitting smack in the middle of that budgetary black hole, Rachel's glare.
One thing about Snow White in particular has a lot to do with Rachel Zegler's firing situation. We already talked about how she was let go from various projects by the Walt Disney Company, including doing voiceover work for Toy Story.
Now, let's be clear, Zegler didn't direct this ship into the iceberg alone, but she was the figurehead Disney decided to strap to the front. It was a bold gamble, casting a young actress with virtually no proven box office clout as the face of one of their most iconic properties. West Side Story underperformed, and the Hunger Games prequel did okay. But the franchise carried the weight there, not her. Despite this, Hollywood decided she was the one, the next big thing. A ready-made star, just add water. Except audiences didn't bite. Instead of genuine momentum, what we've witnessed is a masterclass in manufactured stardom. Zegler's name has been projected onto mares without ever building the foundation that used to come with, actually winning over moviegoers. It's like the industry wrote her origin story before she'd even survived her first plot twist. When Snow White bombed, the finger-pointing didn't start. It accelerated because everyone could already see the math wasn't mathing.
I just mean that it's no longer 1937. She's going to be saving the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be.
Meanwhile, PR teams tried to cushion the blow with cherry-picked metrics. Rotten Tomatoes showed a 72% audience score. Sounds okay, right? Until you realize the audience was about the size of a group chat. Actual turnout, disastrous. The critical consensus wasn't just negative, it was abysmal. A 37% critic rating turns Snow White into the academic equivalent of a group project gone wrong. And more than a few of those verified audience scores are under scrutiny given Rotten Tomatoes' updated methodology, which conveniently shields films from real-time fan backlash. Still not convinced that the public has tuned out? Just look at the theatre scene. Zegler's much-hyped return to the stage in Evita at the iconic London Palladium was positioned as a career-reaffirming move. A sophisticated role, a chance to prove her chops. And yet, every single seat is available. That's not just bad luck. That's the market speaking. Using a traffic light system, the ticket platform shows wall-to-wall green, wide open, every row, every date. For a performer whose face was just plastered across millions in Disney promotional dollars, that's not just embarrassing. It's a warning siren. It underscores what industry watchers have been whispering for a while. The audience isn't on board. Not with the projects, not with the performances, and not with the push. This kind of force-fed fame isn't new. Hollywood has tried this before. Remember Jay Courtney, Sam Worthington? Studios once tried to turn both into household names by plugging them into franchise after franchise, regardless of audience feedback. Eventually, even the most stubborn execs had to admit defeat. Now, Rachel seems to be on the same assembly line, one that turns out stars for a few red carpets and then shelves them quietly when the receipts don't add up. All this is happening at a time when audiences have more choice than ever. They're not willing to invest in actors just because the industry says so. They want authenticity, proven track records, and talent that earns its keep, not a studio-backed mythology built in a vacuum. Snow White should have been a slam dunk, a nostalgic icon, a Disney classic with global name recognition. But when you attach that brand to an actress with no established draw, hand her a script that rewrites the very DNA of the story and then let her tank the press tour with off-putting interviews, You get exactly what we've seen here, a faceplant dressed up in glass slippers. And the most surreal part, the people in charge are still pretending it didn't happen, still doubling down, still pretending that crossing $200 million is a win. It's not. It's a receipt of everything that went wrong. Rachel Zegler's collapse isn't just about box office numbers or a single flop. It was like watching someone try to rebrand a childhood fairy tale into a TED Talk and audiences tuned out before the curtain even lifted. And if Hollywood hoped she could pivot by returning to the stage, that hope vanished faster than a row of unsold theatre tickets. Rachel's turn in Evita at the London Palladium should have been a moment of reinvention. It had all the makings of a comeback, a classic role, a prestigious venue, and tons of marketing. But then ticket sales dropped. No, plummeted. The traffic light system used to track seat availability. It stayed green for weeks. Every show, every night, every section. The message from the public wasn't subtle. This wasn't a performance worth paying for. And the painful part, other shows at the same time, even without blockbuster names, were selling just fine. The situation with Evita only confirmed what audiences already felt. Rachel Zegler wasn't drawing them in. She wasn't selling tickets. She wasn't building buzz even in a totally different medium where she could have won people back with pure talent. There was no sign of support. You could argue that theatre's a tough game. But when your name is being floated as the next great leading lady and not even West End crowds show up, that's a brutal reality check. Some might point to her appearance in The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes as proof that she still has star power, but let's not get it twisted. The movie did well because of the franchise, not the lead. The Hunger Games brand is bulletproof. It could have cast a hologram of a potato and still opened strong. Zegler wasn't the draw. She was just part of the package. Audiences came for the lore, the world, the nostalgia, not for the actress at the center. And even after that exposure, her personal brand didn't bounce back. Her name didn't headline trending pages. Her performance didn't revive her standing. It was a placeholder. It's about how Hollywood manufactures stars like assembly line products and expects audiences to buy in on command. Zegler was positioned as the next big thing before she had a real shot to earn that title. She was launched to the top before she built a base. In a time when movie stars don't drive ticket sales like they used to, studios keep trying to create the next icon through sheer willpower, skipping the part where talent meets timing meets audience trust. The rise and fall of Rachel Zegler is a warning shot to the system. Not because she's talentless, not at all. When you replace that with entitlement, overexposure, and a script of empty empowerment buzzwords, you get exactly what happened here. A star engineered in a boardroom dissolved by public indifference. So what now? Maybe she'll bounce back. Maybe a smaller film, a great role, a fresh approach will give her another shot. Or maybe she'll remain a cautionary tale in a golden frame. A reminder that in the age of internet transparency, audiences aren't just watching, they're choosing.